Chronicles on this track.
What's up, world? This is Brutha War, and I'm here with Tommy 2Tymez, and this is my Chronicles of Work. I am originally from the West Coast, specifically from Portland, Oregon on the Northwest, which is close to Seattle. So yeah, back in the days, I was signed to a record label out of Austin, Texas called Grapetree, and they had national distribution, but with more of an emphasis on the South. And so I was hearing a lot about the South. I mostly spent time up and down the West Coast, a lot of time in California. My dad's from Southern California, Washington, Oregon, California, all through there. But anyway, you know, Atlanta has always been a mecca for music and culture. Goody Mob, Outkast, Organized Noise, I was really feeling what they were doing back in the day. So that's really, to be honest with you, that's what initially put Atlanta on the map big for me, but it always stuck with me. And so I had always wanted to move a little. I didn't want to stay in Portland, wanted to get out. I had traveled a lot, and I just didn't want to stay there, range too much. It just really wasn't my scene. So I had wanted to go to California where I fit in naturally, you know, from that West Coast lifestyle. But Atlanta was the other place on my radar, and so something opened up for me to go there. And so I did a lot of prayer. And then there was an opening, a friend of mine from up in Washington State, he had moved down here and he said I could stay with him. So that was all that I needed to just go ahead and strike out. I had a full-time job, everything set up, but I just knew I needed to move. I needed to relocate. I needed to make a drastic change. So then I just moved down here, took my family with me, and then everything happened from there. Everything changed. So yeah, I was strongly influenced also by the West Coast. Of course, I was always influenced by artists that spoke from the heart, that spoke from personal experience. So to me, music has never been just merely entertainment. A lot of the old school West Coast artists influenced me, like Tupac, Ice Cube, but more when they would talk about real life issues, things that they were going through. So the West Coast persona has always been a big part of my style and my delivery, but it's been the heart of the South and all over the world. I'm not really specific or stuck in a region. Yeah, I might have a style that's from a specific region, and that's just how it is. That's how you grow up. You have a style, but I've always had a more broad view, an open-minded view about the world. And so I feel like I'm here for a reason. I feel like I'm supposed to be here, and I feel like I humbly say this. I don't say this with any pride, but I feel like I'm one of those artists that people need to hear. I feel like it's not about just where you're from, it's about where you at. It's about the message that you have. It's about the true artistry. So I respect any artist from any region, no matter where you're from, what your style is, what type of beat you like. But if you're a real artist and you pour your heart into what you do, and you put actual message into your music, and you actually talk about real issues that people are going through, then I love it, man. Yeah, I don't really care for shallow music. It's cool if people want, you know, music is entertainment for a lot of people, and that's cool. I ain't got a problem with that. But for me, I'm more of an artist. So I like music that touches your heart, that makes you think, that inspires you. And everybody has a song of any kind of genre. We don't gotta just stick with hip hop. Music touches your heart, man. Music can give you an epiphany, and music is a universal language. So a lot of times through my music, I can deliver a message that people aren't always ready to just hear if I walk up to them cold on the street. But if I put it to a beat, I spit it to a beat, and I use my artistry and my lyrical ingenuity to say it in a creative way, then they just might listen. By the way, I paint and I draw. I paint canvases, I draw, I do poetry. I'm kind of all around the arts. I'm really into it, and I love to go to the art museum. Like, I'm that type of a person. My favorite artist is actually Bob Marley. I love reggae music. To be honest with you, I listen to a lot of different kind of music. I'm influenced by world music, by soul music. I love 70s soul music. I love music that's heartfelt, any genre. And I think that we need to bring that back into hip hop. That's what I liked about Goody Mob. That's what I liked about Organized Noise and Outkast and all of them fellas right here from the A. is they put their heart and they put their soul into it. And I feel like I want to hear that back. We need to bring that more back into hip hop. And artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, they doing it. You know, and there's plenty of other artists, but a lot of them are underground. A lot of them are under-recognized. We're all here for a purpose and a reason. And I believe that my reason has to do with my gifting, my talent, and my passion, and my burden. And I have a great burden for the people who society looks down on, whether they be people of color, whether they be poor people, whether they be young people. People say they care about young people, but they really don't do much for them. They don't even listen to them. They just tell them what to do. And so the Most High, he loves the oppressed. He loves the marginalized, the people that the world doesn't really care about. Those people are gold to him. We are important to God. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what society looks at you like, because society is corrupt. And so me as a mission from my Creator is to empower people the best way that I know how and the best way that I'm equipped to do that. And I know music does that. Bob Marley, for example, he brought people together through his music. He inspires me. And I know that that's what I'm called to do in my own way. I can't be Bob Marley. I don't want to be anybody else but myself. But I want to make sure that I accomplish the purpose and the reason that my Creator put me here for, and that's to bring healing to the hurt people, to the oppressed people, and the marginalized people. And what better way to do that than through music? The other way that I am working on that is through youth development. I'm a youth advocate. I work with young people every day, spend more time with teenagers than I do adults. So that's why I'm a little sarcastic sometimes. This generation right here, you see what we're going through. You see that racism, a lot of people thought it was dead, but now you see the sign of the times. You see where people are at each other. The hate is coming out, social networking, having a president, a black president, Trump, all of these people are exposing what's the elephant in the room, and they're exposing what's really going on, and they're showing the world through these people, it's exposing what's really deep down, and people are still full of hate, and people are still judging one another and hating on each other and divided as humanity. And I believe in order to heal humanity, first we have to address the people that society treats the least. And like, I'm a believer in Jesus, in Yeshua. But he said the first shall be last, the last shall be first. Whatever you do unto the least of these, you do to me. Now, I don't come across as a religious type of person, and that's cool because I'm more of a spiritual person. I'm more, when I read the scriptures, I see it as revolution. It's great change. You can't tell people about God and spirit and all of that if you're not actually helping people, if you're not actually treating them with love and kindness and respect. And we have people right now that are in an identity crisis. They're told that they're nothing, and they believe it. So they feel that they have to buy things to make them feel validation. And that's not what's up. We have to give people a new identity to know their value and their worth. And the best way that I know how to do that is by personal relationships, by working with young people and empowering them and teaching them a whole new way of viewing the world, a whole new way of empowering them, not enabling them, but empowering them to find their voice, to know their worth and to know their value and to know that they are fearfully and wonderfully made. If every person really knew how important they could be and the power that each human being holds, this whole world would be different. But people feel that they have to answer to a religious institution or a political institution to find their worth or their value, or they have to buy their worth materially. We don't need that. We already have value. You already have worth as born as a human being in this planet. Okay, so my work as a youth advocate is I am a multimedia director, or the multimedia director for the Metro Atlanta Boys and Girls Club. And so I run a recording studio, I do visual art, we work with spoken word artists, some from Def Poetry Jam. We do a lot of work around the arts. We've worked with Brave New Voices, major spoken word. We're making music videos, but the whole thing, and we have a brand called Cyber Echo, is the name of the brand that is the youth development multimedia. And so Cyber Echo is about empowering the young people to use their voice, to speak to their own peer group, but say something powerful, say something that needs to be said, not what's coming at them through the media. Because let's face it, we have some very positive, some very inspiring artists out there, but they're few and far between. The majority of what these young people are getting, and they're hungry, they're looking for identity, they're looking for a reason, they're looking to find something, they're searching for who they really are, and what they're getting, for the most part, the message they're getting is to exploit them. So what I want to do, what I am doing, is empowering them through the media. Not only that I'm expressing myself as an example, but I'm teaching them and showing them and guiding them how to express themselves through the arts, and I'm finding talent. But a lot of that happens more effectively by building a relationship first. Where like one of the most powerful things that happened to me recently with a couple of young people, I asked them a lot of questions, because adults are always telling young people what to do. So I asked them questions. I asked them what did they think all the time. And so that empowers them to express their voice. And I'm also very outspoken, so I also need to be an example to them, that I express myself. But we've had heart-to-heart conversation. I just asked them, hey, we're real close, we're real cool, we're real close, and I asked 2 young ladies and 2 young men that I work with, and they both all 4 of them told me the same thing. And they said, Mr. Silas, and I asked them, what can I do for you? Yeah, I'm always asking you to work on some music, do the multimedia projects that we're working on, and that's real important because it helps other people too, beyond just yourself. But what would you want me to do more for you? And they said, Mr. Silas, they said, the best thing that you could do for me is that I can talk to you about anything, stuff that I can't talk to nobody else about, and I can actually talk to you and you'll listen to me. And basically they were saying that they trust me. And that's what these young people need, because a lot of them have been let down by adults. A lot of adults, unfortunately, the stereotype is definitely not always true, but it too often is true, where especially men, they're missing in action. And these young people, they need real men in their life to stand up and show them what's up. And of course, they need real young ladies. So I really want to bring people together to build that community, to bring, regardless of your age, we all just come together. And that segues into another part of my message. A lot of people want to blame these rappers out here for the message that they convey. And they want to blame the record labels. And yeah, they play their part for sure. But a lot of these artists are pawns, because the record label feels that they own them. So they telling them what they can and can't say sometimes. But who really is to blame? The people. We're more powerful than them. Us united, it's because y'all buying that. If you buy it, you vote. It's like you voted for it. You're not. So most people want to complain about the negative music, but they don't do nothing to support the positive music. You go online, they mostly posting ratchet stuff. You don't really see a lot of talented, positive artists being promoted online, and we could do it as a community if we shut all the negativity down. Even if we might even watch it or listen to it on the side for a guilty pleasure, but when we promote things, we only promote the positive, you will see a big difference. We could turn it all around. We could make an artist that everybody's sleeping on become well known all across the world through social networking. So why aren't we doing it? Why aren't we using our power through social networking, through file sharing, to spread the messages that we want to hear? So everybody want to complain about what they hate, but they don't support what they love. Whatever you give attention, it will grow. So why are we not giving more attention to the positive artists, to the inspiring artists? Not just because they're positive, but the ones that you really think are dope. And that's what I ask people to do in my music, if you like it. If you don't like it, that's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Everybody don't like ginger tea, you know what I mean? But it's great to me. So all I'm saying is, if you like my music, if you hear it and you love it, then share it. Because we can beat the industry at their own game. The people are more powerful than any of these powers that be, but it's because they control and manipulate us and we buy it. That's why we be in control. But if we came together and we supported that which was real, what they gonna do? Well, the people are powerless because they don't know who they are. identity crisis. So the people are powerless because they don't know their power. You could be a thousand watt light bulb, but if you don't know the source, you're never gonna shine. So their people are powerless because they don't know their power, and they don't know that their creator, God, is not just a belief system or a religion or a church or playing church or mosque or whatever. The Most High is real, and it's a relationship, and it's a power, and he will empower you and embolden you to be who you were really made to be. How are you gonna find out who you are? If you wanna know what something was made for and how it was designed, you gotta talk to the designer. We've been given a false sense of identity, not from our designer, but from fellow human beings who told us that they were better than us and that we're nothing, and that we have to buy their products to find worth. It's because we buy into the system. But once we find freedom and don't buy into that system and realize, look, I could have a white t-shirt on and you know, some inexpensive shoes and live in a 1-bedroom apartment in the hood, and I'm still a king, I'm still a queen, I'm still fearfully and wonderfully made, and my worth is not in what I can get, but what I can give. And that every day, no matter who you are, you can show a piece of God's love to the world and bring healing to your community, no matter how much you've hurt. But see, a lot of us have been broken and hurt, and I have too. But I'm not whining about it. I'm using that broken pieces of me to help try to find a way to heal other people. And I love the analogy. I think it's called, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, kintsugi. There's this Japanese pottery, and they take this pottery in Japan, and when it's broken, they fill it with gold. And so now the pottery is more beautiful than it and stronger than if it was never broken. So a lot of us, through our healing, through our struggle, our mess becomes our message. And so whatever you've been through, if you turn around from a victim to a victor, you'll be victorious, and you become empowered and emboldened and strengthened. So basically, there's a system and a design in place, but it's all a construct. A lot of it's an illusion. A lot of money is really just an illusion. But what it is the illusion is what people buy into. If we realize we don't need any industry, because the industry is built on, now I don't have a problem with capitalism in a smaller sense, but when capitalism governs over democracy or over freedom, or over any sort of liberty, then there's a problem, because it treats human beings as product. And so we live in a society that, in my opinion, uses people and loves things instead of loving people and using things. There's not a problem with having money. I want more money because I have a plan. I have things that I want to accomplish, and money will help me to accomplish that. I don't need money to fulfill me. Only the Most High, the Creator, He's the only one that can fulfill me. What all human beings need in life is just their basic needs and love. That's what we need. So if we don't buy into the system where our only role is to be either product or consumer, then we have freedom. If we realize that we are co-creators with our Creator, that we are meant to create. And so if you don't buy into this system, we can circumvent the system in a lot of ways. Is your goal as an artist to just make a career and get rich and throw money off a yacht? Or is your goal to touch people's lives and make a difference in people's lives, to inspire people with your talent and with your God-given gifts, and to change the culture and the climate of society with our words? Words have creative power. Like, I believe in the scriptures, so I go from that. But our Creator spoke us into existence. Our words have power of life and death in the tongue. You can speak life or you can speak death. And if that's true, a lot of these rappers are in major trouble because they speak in death. So your words can create an atmosphere. You can feel the lyrics in a song before you can actually hear what they're saying. If you're in tune, you can actually feel. I can actually tell when an artist, the beat might be the same, but I could feel the energy before before I can even hear what they're saying. So we don't know our power. Us as artists, as rappers, as people that's speaking out words over people, we can change the atmosphere. We can bring healing or we can bring harm. We can bring enlightenment or ignorance through our words. But the choice is yours. But do you want fame and fortune so bad that what does it profit a man to gain the world but lose a soul? And let me tell you, I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at nobody. I have no right to judge another person, but I can judge the action. And you see the effect. So people talk about judging people. I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm just here to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. My primary goal with this music, and the main reason that I do this music, is to reach as many people as possible with whatever necessary messages that I feel in my spirit and my heart to say. Because a long time ago, I was kind of casually talking to the boss, the Most High, and I was just thinking out loud, and I was saying, man, so this rap music in particular, it affects so many people in such a negative way. And as I was thinking about that, I felt like the Spirit told me, well, you could rap. Why don't you do it? Why don't you say what needs to be said? But at the time, I was very shy. I had a low self-esteem, and I'm still kind of low key, but I'm bold because I know what I'm supposed to do. And so it's not, once you get into your lane of your calling in life, it no longer becomes about you. It becomes about the art. It becomes about the message. And if you know that you're in line with your purpose in life, it doesn't really matter what other people say or don't say about you. I would say, man, just artistically, I really, really like Kendrick Lamar as an artist. He's just a real artist, man. So do I love every line that he says? Do I love all the message of his songs? Not necessarily, but I really think he's dope. I love Andre 3000, man. I would love to hear him come back. He's one of the most talented MCs in my opinion. Reggae artists, I really love Tarrus Riley's voice. To be honest with you, I love just about any conscious reggae artist. So it's a lot of them out there, and it's hard for me to whittle it down because I listen to a big variety. You know, I put on Pandora, just some old school or some new school reggae. So for listening pleasure, I actually listen to reggae more than any other kind of music. It just lifts me up, man. If I'm in a bad mood, listening to some reggae will definitely help me out a lot. My top 5 reggae artists, without thinking about it too long, would probably be Bob Marley. Tarrus Riley is one of them. I feel like I'm gonna miss somebody though, but I like Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaacs, Beres Hammond. I like a lot of the old school. I like a lot of the new school. So I just love reggae, period, man. As long as it's roots and culture music, I prefer that. I don't really like slackness. So my top 5 hip hop artists, just straight off the bat, would be KRS-One, Talib Kweli, Andre 3000, Kendrick Lamar, and probably J. Cole. So I'm not only a rapper, but I'm also a music producer. So I primarily make almost all of my beats, and I'm influenced. My sound varies a lot. I'm influenced by East Coast, West Coast, trap, new school, old school. I don't like to be pigeonholed into one subgenre of hip hop. I just like beats that bang, beats that have a feeling to them, that have emotion to them. So I have some beats that are real West Coast, that got a real knocking beat to it. Others that got a little bounce to it, like the South. Other beats is more boom bap. I primarily make my beats on FL Studios. Every once in a while I'll make a beat on Logic, and I'm in the process of learning how to make beats on Pro Tools. This is Brutha War. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, IG, various social networking. Just look for the name. The name is spelled a little funny. The name is spelled a little funny. It's Bruthawar. Just Google me, you'll find me. Check out my videos. If you like my music, if you're feeling it, if you're feeling the message, please pass it along, spread it. That's how my music gets all over the world. This is Brutha War, and you have just witnessed my Chronicles of Work.